I'm looking more for a team game, 17 plus. Oh, there is actually a very nice one. How far are they in? Oh, they just started. Okay, I'm gonna switch team games, guys. I'm gonna go to a team game, but it's pretty darn awesome. It's got some pretty good players in it. We're gonna launch ourselves into it. They're only 7 minutes in, so that'll be perfect enough time for me to introduce the players as we catch up. And well, I don't want to zip too far ahead, so we're just gonna casually speed up. It's a team game. Arabia, of course. It's fully mirrored once more. Looks like a lot of these players are starting to practice. I think probably more towards the this upcoming team game tournament. And we see people like Loisia playing with Goodfella, Spade, and Valesi. Mr. Fool, I have no idea who he is, but Mathers, which is Melkor, Sticky Fingers, Kimu, and the civs wise. Alright, so we've got China, Chud, Viking, and Spanish. Alright, that's pretty cool. It'll be interesting how they'll all be playing out though. Let's actually just see where these players are actually located though. It seems to me that on the flank we do have here in the blue Mr. Four, who's playing as a Spanish. Going to start bringing that boar in. So Spanish flank, he's going to be up against Spaden here, who's been playing Viking flank. Viking versus Spanish on flank. That's going to be a really interesting contest. But don't worry about the jagginess it's just been speeding up because I'm a little bit behind from the host, but it's fine. On the other flank though, in terms of matchups, we are going to be seeing here, we're going to be seeing in the grey, Sticky Fingers here playing as the Chinese, up against Goodfella, who's playing as also China. So we've got China versus China on the one side and Viking versus Spanish on the other. In the pocket positions, we will have Bilese playing as Spanish, who will be supporting Goodfella. And last but not least, on this team, we're going to have Loisia in the green here, playing as Teuton Pocket, who will be supporting, who is very far away, Spaden. So he brings that second boar in. Yeah, very far away. Wow. And of course, to wrap it all up, of course, and the other team in the pocket positions, we will have Teuton's Pocket being played by Mathers, so mirrored on the pocket sides. So we're going to have Teuton on Teuton, and we're going to have Kibu here playing as the Viking Pocket instead of it being Spanish, however. So it's definitely in favor for Loisia's team. They have put the Viking on the flank. They got Spanish in the pocket with Loisia in pocket playing as Teutons, and you have China on the flank, who's played by Goodfella. I think it's a much stronger lineup for sure. Drush coming in right now from Mr. Fool, but quick walling coming out here from Spaden. A very interesting walling, in fact, because this woodline that he's gone to. Oh, quickly got destroyed, but wow, that was a really good house placement coming out there from Spaden. He's gone very far to split for that lumber camp, which, in all honesty, I think it's more Mr. Fool's lumber line, but I don't really get the split lumber camp there. Well, I understand it's just that. Well, he hasn't got a lot of options really, so I can't really blame him for that. But with this wall that he does have, we are going to be able to have him on the gold over here. He puts more bills onto the lumber line itself. Josh trying to poke and prod, but not going to be able to be successful. On the other side, however, looks like a feudal age is coming from Goodfella. As the Chinese going to drop down 2 archer rangers, going to go for that full archer flush. Meanwhile, from Sticky Fingers, it's pretty much a similar thing here, yes, but he is up a bit later, really. And he's also built behind. Looks to me that Sticky Fingers has had a bit of a rough time here on the flank already. It is, if you are trying to flank and you have a rough start, like if you get things lamed, or you can't find sheep or whatever, it's just horrible to play against. He will definitely have to open up with some skirmish of defense when he does hit the feudal age, which he has not done. He may even have to drop a tower on this gold. I'm not kidding. I think it's just that bad of a situation for him. Oh, he didn't take his boar. Oh, okay. Okay. That explains it. Oh, he didn't find his boar. He must have thought it got stolen and he found it. But he will take it though, so I guess he will try and make up some lost resources. I'm trying to put an archer range down there. That's not a good place to put an archer range. He's going to try to put a tower down now, but that could even get denied. One bill could also go down. Yes, it does. 2 archers could also deny a tower. He is sending a lot of bills forward here, Sticky Fingers. He's got to get this tower up. And also the archery range is going to just bum rush this. But he could lose a lot in the process. Another Vil could get picked off here by Valesi. Looks like Goodfeather's scout will go down to the mass villagers. And his tower will now finally go up on the gold. I'm not sure about this archer range. I think he has to put it a little bit further back. But he will go and try and complete it. That's, okay, fair enough. Meanwhile, though, looks like the drush here from Mr. Fall hasn't worked out on Spaden. So he's trying to harass here Loyja and has done it quite successfully. Just to a small degree. Has delayed that stable, which will delay the click up. Which we can see Loyja's going to hit the castle at 17 minutes. He is going on Dirty Pop, however. So it looks like it's going to be, what, a 2-stable build coming up in this. And he's even harassing the berries too. Good job here from this drush. At least he's trying to make something come out of it. Meanwhile, though, for the Spanish, he's gone... Oh, sorry, for the Viking player, sorry, from Spain, he's going to go for the archers and start harassing as best he can. You can see here from Mr. Fall, as he hits the feudal age, he's going to drop some towers. However, though, he drops 2 towers right next to his woodline here, but not on his stone. Which is probably the more important thing. Yes, these 2 towers will probably shield it as best he can. However, though, if the archers just camp on this hill section here, then how else are you going to get the stone? He also went to the market blacksmith build, so he's committing into what would be conquistadors, most likely. But how do you get a castle up if you're off stone? Yeah. Like, I don't get this second tower. This second tower to me doesn't make much sense. Personally, anyway. On the other side, looks like Goodfellow's doing more and more work. It's just getting to the back end of Sticky Fingers' eco, and that woodline picks 2 bills off. Could be a third. Oh, yes it is. Oh, that bill went... Yeah, that bill deserved to die, quite frankly. It was just too adventurous, I feel. So, meanwhile, it looks like Sticky Fingers is struggling, it's also Mr. Full struggling as well. Not going good on this side for Melkor's team. Melkor is probably thinking up for crying out loud, basically. Like, come on, I need to go and save my flank. Other side's kind of dying a little bit inside. Poor fellow. Yeah, he's like, thank you, 11. It's like, too much pressure. Honestly, though, we have Mr. Fall going up to the Castle Age. But what is the plan? He hasn't got enough stone for a TC. He might be able to get back on stone just in good enough time, however, to put a TC down. But he won't be able to make any army except for, like, what? Like, militia? Maybe go to, like, longswords? The other side, now he's got to go back again once more. This is just a tragedy, honestly. And that mining camp I do not like. That's a rushed mining camp. The knights will come in now to try and clean up everything here. Looks like he did lose 1 knight, might lose a second, but will clean up all the rest of those archers. Good job there from Melkor. Holding down the fort. Yeah, the second knight did go down. But good news, Mr. Fall is back on the stone. So at some point we might see conquistadors, who knows. Imagine if Mr. Fall put a tower there and was on stone for such a long time, he could have got to the Castle Age and dropped a castle right here. It would make such perfect sense. Or even here, it would have been amazing. Yes, as an outpost, potentially scouting that out, but it would have been amazing if he did. I need to close this blind. The sun is getting on my shoulders. Or my back of my neck, sorry. Area. It's actually quite warm. Blimey. On the other side, though, looks like Goodfellow is going to be pushing forward here with some archers. Kimu is trying to help, but it looks like he's going to go for more of a counterplay. Try and go straight towards Goodfellow's gold, who, by the way, has quite a lot of gold. Goodfellow, how much do you need? I mean, he's battling up, which is lovely. But with 2 rangers, you probably want maybe 3 or 4 rangers for the amount of gold you got going on here. He's able to queue like 2 archers constantly, 4 archers in fact, and have like extra 100 gold left over, 168, or sorry, 200 gold in fact. Crazy amount of gold in there. So So the archers will start to get picked off by his knights. A little bit of raiding. One build does go down, maybe two. Alright, a couple of build pickoffs. Yeah, that's nice. Forces him off the goal. But it's not substantial damage. I mean, if you compare it wise, 40 bills and Sticky Fingers to... Wait, Sticky Fingers is on 40 bills? He must not have Wheelbarrow, and he's not clicking up either. But I'm surprised by it. I thought he would have lost a lot more. Blimey. Maybe all is not lost. Spain is up on the way to Castle Edge, however. And with Mr. Fool, he's gonna go for this 2TC and just get a Siege Workshop up. I think that's probably the best scenario for him to work with. Just get this Siege Workshop up, because he knows this archers basically will most likely be crossbows. So just go for the 2TC, Siege Workshop, get a third TC in fact. Just gonna go for more of a eco-focused build. I kind of like this. You hopefully try and get a bit of an advantage from it, and yes, he is 3 bills up. However, Spain will have that free handcart soon enough. And at the same time, it looks like Melkor is doing some really good work here on the back of Spain's base, forcing him off that main gold and doing some damage on the archers. Looks like Loja is coming back to defend and is going to force away those knights, but has come up with a big result. Looks like 5 archers did go down in the process for 1 knight, 2 knights in fact. And again, a little bit harassed on the gold. TC will come up from Spaden straight away on that, and don't blame him there. And he's also going to build a university in a nice little corner of the map, or at the edge of the map, sorry. And meanwhile, Goodfellas sticking quite close to home as he's going to go up to the Castle Edge, or sorry, hits it. Gets the crossbow and the bodkin arrow, trying to deal with these pesky knights that keep trying to hit his gold line. He will TC it, however, so it'll be safe. And the wood line is fairly well walled in. A couple of bills on the farms are going down. But that's a decent trade-off. He's going to kill, what, 2, 3 knights? Oh, okay, 3 knights for like 1 bill. No, 4 knights, however. Wow, okay. 4 knights for a bill. Yeah, that's a bit of a suicide attempt there from Kimu, if you ask me. Meanwhile, though, back on the other side. Spaden's going to start moving forward. These crossbows. The palisade wall is pretty much a redundant thing now. And he will break on through and start trying to raid as best he can. This wood line here is quite exposed, and so is this gold. Ooh, okay. You should see the warning flash up of these crossbows breaking in. The mangonel will pop up out of the Siege Workshop in good time. And I wonder if Spaden will try and go for it. Oh, good! Ground attack. Picks off 2. And that will force immediately Mr. Fool to go back. It looks like also a castle did come up here from Mr. Fool as well, getting some conquistadors out. Not placing it aggressively, and that's fair enough because I don't think he has the map control, and that's absolutely solid. So might as well just place it a little bit safer, a little bit close to home, hovering over his main gold on top of the hill. I like to see that. And he'll just start making some conquistadors, and it's going to just sit. Oh, this is... I don't think that was the best result there for Spaden. The TC will just get harassed by his mangonel, so a lot of idle time will be made out of this. And Melkor playing so good here, picks up all those crossbows. So that's just going to allow this mangonel to keep on hitting this TC. Where is Loja? Okay, Loja is coming now with a lot of knights, but a bit late though, because Spain just lost everything. How's the other side going? A big fight has just come onto the scene. It's crossbar, knights are being thrown in. But good positioning looks like from Sticky Fingers clinging onto his hill. Likewise from Goodfella. And I think there's a few more coming out from Goodfella, but I don't think he can take this fight just yet. Oh, looks like he can. The 3 knights from Valese will push this back with +2/+1 armor. Has to go back into the tower. And with Sticky Fingers opting to put a TC on the wood and not on his main gold has meant that it'll be a little bit stifled. And even still, Goodfellas going to try and pick off as best he can. The Knights of Lloyd are trying to find a way in, but trying to find some damage. That's 4 TC from Mr. Fool. He is having a very nice free boom here on flank as Spanish. And Spain's having a little bit of a rough time. He's trying to keep in touching distance here. The free handcart is probably paying off big time, but he's unable to break base at Mr. Fool. I mean, he's got some stone walls and stone gate lined up, a mangonel defense, castle up on the hill, and 4 TCs. How do you break that down? And oh, look at really nice position there from Goodfella. Gets tucked inside that oasis by the palisade. Picks off, looks like 3, 4, maybe 5 bills. And only now do we see a siege workshop dropped by Sticky Fingers in response to this. Now Kimo looks to engage here at Balese with the knights, but he has no bloodlines. And the upgrades from Balese are exactly the same in terms of armor and attack. But just a few more coming up from Kimo has meant that he did take a clean engagement. Now we'll pull back to his allies' base. But that should alleviate some pressure. Meanwhile, though, Loisia is trying to get inside Mathis or Melkor's base. But really good team play coming out between Mathis and Mr. Fool. He tracks back with some Conquistadors, and the same here for Mathis' own knights. And Will pushes away. It doesn't look like much team game. Much damage has been done. Don't know why it's a team game. Good God. Looks like though, Valesa's having enough of this though. He's gonna just go straight in, doesn't care about the tower or even the crossbows. He's gonna take out everything here. Kibu is trying to fight as best he can, but there's just too much coming out right now. And this is a lot more worrying, I feel, than the other side from Spaden. Just clean up the entire army. The tower's gonna go down with all the bills and everything inside it. Oh, this is rough. Sticky Fingers down to 50 bills, and Goodfella on 71. Big gap opening up here. Completely off his main gold. And Orphic Stone as well. He's got another TC though on the outskirts. In a very isolated position. And it looks like Goodfella will scout it out. And with the Siege Workshop coming up forward too, that could just easily go down alongside everything else. And Sticky Fingers asks maybe GG question mark, because he's in a lot of trouble. But it might not just be over, I feel, just yet, because Mr. Falkers has a big role to play. I think they have technically more vills than the other team. I mean, Goodfellas on 73, Spade on 78, and Loisia only on 99 and 100, and they've technically got more vills on the pockets, and of course on the flank too with 102. So whilst we could argue that Sticky Fingers may be that sort of sacrificial lamb, if the other three players can get up to that Imperial age at a decent time, they should be able to fight this one back. I don't think it should probably call for a GG just yet. Looks like a pause was there, and they are unpausing. So Mathis is on the way to Imperial Age, very close to hitting that Imperial Age mark, by the way, and so is Kibu. This is what I was talking about. They're able to go up earlier than the other pockets. Although Loisia has hit Imperial first, however, so my apologies there. He is in first with Cavalier already done in plate binding armor. Oh, okay, I take my statement back. This is not going to be an easy game. I feel like I've just jumped forward like a minute or two. I thought I would have seen Loisia's upgrade time, and he's coming in right now with a lot of Cavalier. Mathis is going to try and prepare some sort of defense, quickly walls in as best he can those bills. Might need a little bit of help from Mr. Fool, I think. He's only got a few Conquistadors, however. They're under a little bit of pressure as Spader looks to ramp up that little bit of aggression. 2 Mangonels coming out forward. He's got the Thumb Ring completed, and I also believe the Ballistics. Yes, that university was built a long time ago. And with only +2 armor done, this is where I feel the Conquistadors will be a little bit weak-ish in terms of trying to man-fight this. It won't be as accurate for one thing. And with that sort of big mass, especially with 2 Mangonels sitting behind it, I feel like that, yeah, Mr. Fool's going to try and sort of catch him off guard here, and he might be able to do so. The Mangonel gets a one-shot free away. Before even Spaden realizes this, second one flies in, and again it hits on the other Mangonel. Oh, this is a really good engagement, Mr. Fool. He reads this one quite well. Okay, now he takes everyone down. Now they can just clean up the rest of those crossbows. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. That was a really good engagement. Those crossbows weren't attacking those Conquistadors or the Mangonels for such a long time. They both will be Imperial very shortly and at a similar time, but I feel like this is where the Spanish will start coming onto their own. This is going to be dangerous. Now we're seeing a castle being dropped by Mr. Fool. Lovely position. He won a great fight. Now he has the ability to drop a castle right on the doorstep of this TC, and then where a large part of this wood economy is coming out from Spaden, because the other wood economies, to say the least. With the Imperial upgrades coming in right now for Kimo with the Cavalier and so on and so forth, Sticky Fingers is sort of down on his knees, I would say. He has kept the build count relatively stable, but he resigns straight away. Looks like they're going to call the GG, unfortunately. Looks like Sticky Fingers sort of had said, no, enough's enough. I'm dead. Good fellas talking about Imperial Age. Yeah, I could kind of see it now. There won't be a big enough push coming in just yet from Mr. Full to wipe out Spaden and make it a 3v3. But this could have been quite an exciting matchup, I feel. I mean, if only Sticky Fingers didn't have what was like such a poor Dark Age by not finding that extra ball. He was just always behind for such a long time. There's also here been interesting the Treb War fight that will be. Considering the fact that Mr. Full had 3 castles, I would expect 2 Trebs out. Yeah, this would have been. I feel like Mr. Full would have been able to take this side on quite alright. But Sticky Fingers just. It's unfortunate, I guess, a little bit. Unfortunate finding that board, but again, what can you say, huh? Poor Sticky Fingers. It happens to everyone, honestly. China flank is so tough to if you have not the best starts. It's not even have to be a bad start. Is if it's just like a like not the best start, especially against your opponent who might not even be Chinese themselves or whatever. Then it makes it. I always feel like such a difficult game to play against. You have to have such a good start, and that's what happened to Goodfella, it seems, and he just capitalized on it so well. And the stats in that game pretty much kind of say it all, I guess. I didn't really talk much about Loisia, but he got first in Imperial Age, just like had a decent game himself. Mathis, yeah, I feel like he was MVP on their side. He did such a good job saving Mr. Full and provided a lot to the team, honestly. I think it was really wrong by Kimo either. It's just that, again, being Viking Pocket, there's just... I'll talk about this, I'll get out of the room now in just a second, but these are the stats from the game. If anyone's really keen and interested. Yeah, there you go. Now, the reason why I was about to talk about Vikings here, because there's not much you can really blame on Kimo to do, because when you're Viking Pocket, you have like this... yeah, you don't have bloodlines, but you do have, again, the free wheelbarrow going up in the feudal age and that free handcart. Now, you generally, of course, collect more resources when you're going up, so you can... It is, I always feel like the non-bloodline civs, like one of the knights, like, top tier in that regard, like, just because of the eco you get behind it. But and that means that you have, like, what I like to call a power spike or a curve, whatever you want to call it. You get this window, I call it windows as well a lot, where the Viking Pocket can actually do quite a lot because you get those upgrades in like a lot earlier, and you can be a lot more effective as a pocket, generally speaking. Because of course, with Bloodline Civs, generally speaking, unless you're Franks, then you have to research that for one thing. It's so. That's why I'm talking about the Vikings having this sort of slight power curve, and if you don't dominate in that period. And it might not just be because like your flank's suffering or whatever, or you just had a bad start, I don't know, whatever. But anyway, once that window closes and you didn't do enough damage or get enough out of it, then you will struggle like as the game will go on. You'll just start petering off, and then that's it. Like you've got nothing else much in the tank after that. Yeah, you can go Imperial, and then of course you can argue, but then of course if you're up against so and so and then Imperial Age, then it might not be so bad for Viking Pocket. Yeah, you're absolutely right, but I'm talking about this from a very generic base where, when I watch games anyway, you get this just window. You have to just win. Win. That's all you gotta do. Win. How hard is that?